If you follow my channel, you know that I travel alone a lot. So obviously my gear needs have been changing over time to suit my travels, because now I'm becoming more a minimalist. I'm choosing smaller gear, lighter gear, something discreet as well, because when you travel alone and more being a woman, you want to be discreet when you are vlogging because you don't want to catch a lot of attention with very big lenses and very big cameras. So in this video, I'm not going to tell you which gear is the best for you. I'm going to tell you my favorite minimalist gear for me, and I'm going to explain why, and the why is what is going to help you to understand your needs and maybe make a different choice as me or the same one, depending on your needs. For those new here, I'm a professional photographer and creative director, self-made in London 11 years ago, which is when I left my country to pursue my dreams in the creative industry. And when I made it happen and I became a full-time freelance photographer, I moved to Bali, and now I'm able to be remote as well with my creative skills. So if we share the same passion, make sure to subscribe to my channel as I share weekly videos, and click the bell button, because otherwise YouTube algorithm is not going to show you the videos even if you are subscribed. So this being said, I'm going to show you my main minimalist vlogging gear because I bought a new camera. I didn't want to buy it, but I'm going to explain why I did it. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you two pieces of gear that you don't need, and more if you are a minimalist, but I love and I carry with me all the time because they level up my photography vlogs by a lot. Maybe you know already if you follow my channel, but I really wanted to have this camera. So what was happening? My main camera is the Sony a7R5. I love it because I'm a photographer and the quality is insane, and for video it's amazing as well. And then I had a second camera, which is the Sony a7C. And this is my vlogging camera. What happened was, when you are geeky, because everyone in this sector, I think we're a bit geeky about gear and about quality, you want more and more for your work. So I found myself vlogging with the Sony a7R5 because it has so many features the Sony a7C didn't have. So what I did is buying the Sony a7C II, which is the one I'm recording with right now. I do have a beautiful cinematic vlog I did in Bali, and that video was recorded 90% with the Sony a7R5. And actually, it was towards the end of the video, towards the end of that week, where I decided to buy the Sony a7C II. Because I was recording that video with the Sony a7R5 and I was catching a lot of attention. So it's like, okay, I need something small because in the end of the day, I'm not using the a7C that much anymore. I've been using it so much for the last 2 years. But now, because I have the Sony a7R5, it's like, okay, I want this quality in a smaller body. I bought the Sony a7C II because you can record at 60 frames per second in 4K with a little crop, but I don't mind because the Sony a7C couldn't do this, just in 1080p. And also because you can record in S-Log3. This gives you an insane dynamic range, and I really wanted this for my videos because you can tell the difference, and more when you live in Bali because it's very sunny and you really need dynamic range in your videos and photos. And talking about photography quality, the Sony a7C II has 33 megapixels, which is insane. So I can carry with me just for vlogging the Sony a7C II and also take incredible photos. So I don't have to take with me two cameras all the time. So this is very beneficial. And another huge reason for me, like very big one, it's the IBIS. The stabilization of the camera, it's insane. The Sony a7C, I wasn't happy at all with the IBIS. It's the only thing I didn't like about that camera. But in the Sony a7C II, when I'm recording B-roll, it's so stable. And also when I'm vlogging. So my camera is not shaking all the time and you don't get all dizzy when you watch my vlogs. So this was a huge thing as well. And there are many other things that this camera has. So if you're interested, let me know and I can do a full review. But these were the main reasons why I decided to buy the Sony a7C II for my vlogs and for photography when I don't want to carry the big camera. Which doesn't mean that you need this camera, okay? Because maybe you are in another stage, you are a beginner, you just started. I started with a very basic vlogging camera, so this is entirely up to you and your situation, okay? But for me right now, this one is the best. I'm very happy with it. Let's go for lenses. You may know, if you follow my channel, that my favorite lens for vlogging is this one here. It's the Tamron 17-28mm f2.8. I love it because it's very light, it's versatile because you can play with the zoom, and it's quite affordable as well. So I've been using this for years and I still use it. But I wanted something even smaller and lighter when I want to carry just the minimum gear, and something very small I can fit anywhere. So I do have two new lenses, which are these ones. I forgot to mention, this video is not sponsored by any of the brands I'm talking about today. Viltrox did send me these two lenses because I actually approached them because I wanted to talk about them. I have the 20mm f2.8 prime lens, which is super tiny and light, and it's just over $100. And this thing is incredible because it's super compact for my Sony a7C II when I want to vlog and I want to carry the camera anywhere because it's very tiny. So this one is perfect for vlogging. 20mm, it's very good when you are recording yourself. And then I have the 40mm f2.5. This is quite new from Viltrox as well. And the quality is quite good. There is this misconception that you need to spend a lot of money to have quality. Of course, if you buy G Master lenses, the quality is incredible and it has nothing to do with this, 100%. But if you don't have the budget, you can get this and the quality is still good. The combination of these two lenses and the Sony a7C II, it's perfect. Because you can fit it anywhere, it's incredibly light when you are going hiking or whatever, and even if they are prime lenses, they can be versatile as well. Why? Because you have the super 35mm option in your camera, which means that if you press that button, instead 20mm, you're gonna have a 30mm lens. And with the 40mm, it becomes a 60mm lens. So it's not that bad and you don't have to carry a million lenses with you. As always, if you want more, you're gonna have to carry more lenses. And this happens to me because many times I carry my telelens, my 70-200, to take close-ups and take beautiful scenery in Bali. So this is entirely up to you. Not always you can be minimal, okay? I try. But when you like what you do and you want to get more from your camera and from your images, you're always gonna carry more lenses. But having the option of carry these two only, for me it's great. And there is something you guys notice on my videos, and I receive so many questions about, which is how I managed to make the image to look more filmy, cinematic, and a bit softer. I use a mist filter in most of my videos because the image is more cinematic. Everything looks softer and you notice more that effect in the highlights. As you can see here right now, I do have a light there and it's softer because I'm using a mist filter right now. The mist filter I use is from Nisi. Why? Because I have the pack of variable ND filters and it comes with a mist filter that you can put on top if you want. So I use a variable ND filter all the time. With video, you cannot ramp up the shutter speed. It has to be always double the frame rate. So because you cannot play with the speed, you have to play with something else to stop light from entering the sensor. So that's why you use variable ND filters. I do have the VND Mist Kit filter from Nisi in different diameters to be able to use them with different lenses, but take into account that when the difference in diameter is not that big, you can buy an step-up ring and save more money. So this is one of the secrets I use to make my videos look more cinematic and more filmy. And the next piece of gear, which is one of the most crucial to have, it's a tripod. And I love my travel tripod because it's the most compact I've ever owned, and it's very light, it's carbon fiber. So I'm using it right now. I cannot show it to you, but I do have a full review on my channel if you want to check it out. And I love this tripod because you can fold it a lot. It doesn't take a lot of space and it's very light. I forgot to mention, you're gonna have in the description of the video everything I'm talking about today. So you can check everything at your own pace, and you're gonna have discounts as well. So please always check because maybe you need a piece of gear and you're gonna be able to have a discount. And for the tripod, you have a 10% discount if you are interested, of course. I'm gonna put everything below. So the next thing would be the mic. I do have a few, but I always use two mostly. The first one would be the DJI wireless mic, which is the one I'm using right now, and I use it in all my videos because I freaking love it. So I'm using as well a lavalier right now attached to it, but you don't need the lavalier because you can clip it in your shirt and that's it. I've been doing that in some of my videos, But I like the lavalier because sometimes the blouse doesn't hold the clip and I need the lavalier because it's more discreet as well and it doesn't disturb the image too much. And the battery lasts like crazy because the case is a charger itself. So I carry this everywhere with me, but for vlogging and talking right away to the camera while holding it, I do use the Rode Micro 2. And this mic, it's incredible because apart from being tiny, it doesn't work with batteries. So I find myself using the Micro all the time because you don't have to charge it and it fits everywhere. It comes with a windshield and I don't even remove it ever. Because if it's windy, if you don't have the windshield, the sound is gonna be ruined. And there is another piece of gear that I love, but sometimes I don't use, and that's the Mantis Pod. I do have a video reviewing this one and it's great, I love it. I use it a lot for vlogging because you can record yourself, you can handheld the camera with it as well, so you can hold it farther from your face. But I'm a bit divided with this one because it's quite heavy. So many times I have it with me and many times I just handheld the camera, grabbing it from the lens. But you can check the review and see if you need it or you don't need it. Because before, to be honest, I didn't mind that it was a bit heavy. But now because it's very hot in Bali and I carry a lot of gear with me, every single gram for me is a lot, okay? It makes a huge difference. So now I'm gonna talk about two pieces of gear that you don't need and I don't consider that you need them in a minimalist vlogging gear. But if you can, get them because they are going to level up your vlogs by a lot. And that's the drone. I have the very old one, DJI Mini 2. It's super tiny. So I do consider this minimalist, to be honest. Not a must, but those aerial shots make all the difference in your videos. Like, I love flying the drone. I get drone anxiety still. I consider myself a beginner with the drone, but then I'm super happy when I capture something because it just looks incredible, and also the photos you can get. And I think very soon I'm gonna upgrade to the Mini 4 Pro because I'm with the Mini 2 for years already, and for photography there is a huge difference with the Mini 4 Pro. And the next piece of gear that you don't need, but for me now is a must in Bali, it's the Insta360. Why? Not because of the creative shots you can get with it, which is amazing, but because I'm always riding a scooter here in Bali, because you need a scooter to go everywhere. So it's like, how do I fill the blanks in a vlog when I'm going from point A to B? The Insta360, I put it on my scooter and I don't have to worry about framing either. This is something I love because in post-production, I can choose what I want you to see. If I want you to see me driving, you're gonna see me driving. And if I want you to see the landscape in front of me, you're gonna be able to see it because I can pick the frame later. So the Insta360 became a must for me as well. And for this one, you're gonna have as well a discount link below. So please make sure always to check the links because if you need gear, many times you're gonna save money. And there is something I'm not gonna talk about today because I'm gonna make a separate video for that. It's about my camera bag. And this is a huge topic and I believe I can help you a lot because with everything I travel and I want to be discreet as well many times, I do have my backpacks of choice and I want to explain that in another video because I think it's going to help you a lot. So make sure to subscribe to my channel to don't miss out. And please, if you have any questions, ask, because I would be very happy to answer your questions if you have doubts about something specific that I own. And if you want to see my gear in action, you can check these Bali vlogs here, where you're gonna be able to see some of the gear I've been talking about today. As usual, subscribe to my channel and like the video because it helps a lot, and I will see you next week. Mwah! Big love from Bali.